and what's going on with everything, with the COVID, with the tech that's changing everything, Zillow, the iBuyers, and I know these conversations are a dime a dozen. Uh, but really, what are you doing about it? That's the question, and that's the question I've had with myself. Like I see the landscape in real estate changing. I see big tech companies taking business directly out of our hands. And so it's one thing to be aware of it, and it's another thing to bitch about it. But the real question is, what are you doing about it? And I know what I'm doing about it, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. One of them is, yeah, I'm a real estate agent. Uh, that's how I've made my money over the last several years. I also do a fair amount of flips. And I used to think that, being into flipping would be a hedge against the real estate companies like Zillow and Realtor.com because they weren't flipping. They weren't directly competing with me. And as time goes on, that's starting to change. They are making offers. They are doing more and more extensive rehabs as time goes on. And I've lost deals to Zillow and Opendoor in the last 6 months. I think I've lost 3 deals to them, where previously that wasn't happening as much. So, the question is, what can we do about that? I mean, we have our own National Association of Realtors seemingly working against us, selling off our proprietary information and selling them our software, that we're supposed to have access to, but now they're giving it, turning it over to Zillow. So Showing Time is the most recent example. I mean, what the hell? It's like they do not have our best interest at heart. So it's really up to us to figure out how we're going to hedge against that. Um, so one thing I'm doing is trying to edge my way out of having to do the hamster wheel to drive, finding deal after deal after deal, which I'm still doing, and I'll probably never stop doing that. But I'm starting to look for investments that are going to provide passive income. And again, this is nothing new, but it is something to start think about. As you see the environment starting to change, your income's going to start to drop, and you've got to do something about that. So I'm looking in other markets at multifamilies, and it's difficult. I'm in Vegas, so it's a difficult market. They say to cash flow here. The cap rates aren't that high, and you can do it in any market, so I'm told. And I am not an expert at this. I'm just getting my feet wet. But my point is, I am getting my feet wet. I'm making moves in order to protect myself. And so let me show you one thing that I'm looking at. Looking at this, it's an 8-unit apartment building right behind me. Just met with the owner. So this is a off-market deal. So I got some of the numbers, some of the expenses, and use that to make an offer. See what happens. Okay, so yeah, that's one thing you can do. That's just one property that I've made an offer on, and I have several more LOIs that are going to be going out in the next week or so. Another thing that you can really do to hedge against these big companies, let's specifically talk about Zillow. I just read an article where Zillow is hiring, I think it said 4,000 new employees, right? And they're not doing that because they're going to be sitting on their hands. They're doing that because they're constantly expanding their business. And when they expand their business, our business shrinks. So what can you do about that? And let me tell you what you can do about that. And that is EXP Realty. I know you've heard of it. You've probably been hearing about it for years. And if you're not on board already, you hear that? They're doing some work next door, and they're kind of loud about it. But that's all right because I do the same thing. So anyways, EXP is setting themselves up to be a direct competitor of Zillow. And if you think the mom and pop shops aren't going anywhere, really think again. Like, look around, look at what's going on in the world. Smaller companies are getting eaten up by big tech. So it's kind of one of those situations where if you can't beat them, join them. And in the instance of EXP, I don't want to beat them. I want to join them. They're the ones that are going to put us as agents in a competitive position over companies like Zillow. We're the fastest growing brokerage across the globe. And what that's going to do is it's going to put us in a position where people, right now, a lot of people are going to go to Zillow. But as time goes on, they're also going to start looking at EXP because EXP is competing head to head with Zillow in the tech space. Do you see what's going to happen? Like your little mom and pop designer brokerage is awesome, and I hate to see that go. But we have to, at some point, ride the wave and move forward with the times. And the longer you wait, the further you are going to be left behind. So imagine you're a consumer and you're starting to look for a house. And right now you type in homes in my area, Realtors, what pops up first? Zillow, right? Then maybe Realtor.com, right? Then Trulia. But as time goes on, EXP, who's a proven company by now, and if you still have doubts about EXP, you really have to open your eyes. So EXP is going to be a place where people go to look for homes. And the difference is EXP is giving ownership to their realtors through the form of stock. You have ownership, you have growth potential. Zillow is doing the exact opposite of that. Zillow is taking money and food out of your mouths, in the form of big tech. They're giving it to discount agents or any agent that happens to spend a bunch of money advertising with them. And even less and less, they're buying a lot of the homes that ordinarily would have been getting listed by us, the realtors. And what a lot of people don't know is EXP is in a position to compete directly with them as an iBuyer, except for us as EXP agents, we're going to get those listings and we're going to get those commissions a lot of times on the buy side. It's a program that they have in place, and that is growing and that's gaining some momentum as well. So if you can look at the trajectory of EXP Realty, it's really easy to see that in order to hedge your bets against big tech, you need to jump on board with big tech. And the way you can do that is simply join EXP Realty. They've got tons of tools, tons of training, like limitless amounts of training. Let me just, crap, I accidentally answered this. Hello, this is Jake.
Hi, Jake. This is Gina with Microbuilders. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, yeah, so man, you get a listing in this market and it's crazy. So let's see, what the hell was I talking about? EXP Realty. Man, if you're unsure, look into it. I promise you, in 5 years from now, if you don't do it okay, I take it back. I can't promise you because I really don't know. So back up. I don't promise you. I almost promise you that in 5 years from now, if you don't take a serious hard look at this company and you don't make the move, man, I just think in 5 years, you're really going to wish that you had. Even though we're growing fast, we're still in our infancy. We just crossed, I think, the 50,000 agent mark, and the way things are moving and the predictions are, the hundreds of thousands of agents. And there's also something called the revenue share, where a lot of agents are making a lot of money by bringing other agents onto their team. And if we've only got 50,000 agents now, but we're projected to have 150, 200,000 agents in the future. If you can get a handful of those agents on your team, that's passive income for the rest of your life. As long as those agents are closing deals, you're getting paid, and that can be a massive game changer. So there's just so many ways that this company gives back to you. And it's the complete opposite of what these other tech real estate companies are doing. They're not giving back to you, they're taking away from you. And EXP is the polar opposite of that. And it's because of their business structure. Their business structure, they're so successful because we're successful. All right, we're making money, we're bringing in income, and they're giving it back to us in certain ways, which you'll find out once you start doing the research. Anyways, if you want to hedge your bets, one, what I'm doing is I'm looking at multifamily properties, and I'm not planning on stopping being a realtor or being a flipper. But I am hedging my bets, and there's other ways, of course. I'm doing stocks and cryptocurrencies and all that, but I don't really understand all that. I'm not an expert. I'm just kind of, again, trying to hedge my bets a little bit. But what I do understand is real estate. I understand the simplicity of multifamily, and there's a lot that goes into it, but ultimately real estate is a pretty simple business. So I'm hedging my bets with multifamily, and I've hedged my bets years ago when I joined EXP, and I would have been so upset right now if I hadn't joined EXP when I did. And with what has happened to EXP in the last 4 years since I joined, and the financial benefits that it's had to me in that short amount of time, I would have been probably really depressed because I had the opportunity and I took it. But if I had that opportunity and I didn't take it, I would be kicking myself in the ass hard right now. So don't be that person. All right. Take a good hard look at this company. And not just look at this company, but look where the future of real estate is going. It's not hard to see. Your little boutique brokerages, like sadly, are on their way out. Look what happened to travel companies, right? It used to be a travel agent in every corner. Expedia, Travelocity, they're gone, right? Blockbuster Video, gone. Boutique brokerages, gone. I'm not joking around. You need to take a look at this. I'm easy to find. If you have any questions, tune in out.